So, have you ever seriously wondered if you can actually make money from Facebook here in Pakistan? It's a question that's surrounded by, a lot of myths and confusion. Well, today, we're going to cut right through all that noise. We're laying out the unofficial roadmap, a real step-by-step guide based on what creators on the ground are actually doing to get paid. So, let's just dive right in. And this is the big question, isn't it? The one on everybody's mind. Now, officially, Facebook monetization isn't available in Pakistan, and for years, that's pretty much been the end of the story. But what if I told you the unofficial story is a whole lot more interesting and, for some creators, a whole lot more profitable? The answer, believe it or not, is a big, fat yes. And here's the real kicker. The most common way people are doing this doesn't even require a VPN. Yep, there is a whole underground system that Pakistani creators are using to earn, and we're about to break down exactly how it all works. So you're probably asking, how is this even possible if it's not officially available? Well, it all comes down to this special kind of invite-only program that operates just under the radar. Honestly, it's the key to this entire system. This secret is called the Content Monetization Program. Now, the easiest way to think about it is kind of like YouTube's partner program. See, Facebook's algorithm is always watching your page, and if it sees consistently high engagement, we're talking likes, comments, views, you'll either get an invitation or a checklist to qualify. Once you're in, boom, you start earning directly from how well your content performs. Okay, so before you even think about starting, you have a really fundamental choice to make. And it honestly boils down to one simple question. Are you going to invest your time, or are you going to invest your money? You've basically got two very different ways to go. On one hand, there's the organic path. This is the sweat route. You start from absolute zero, building your page slowly over months, maybe even years. The great thing is it costs you nothing but your time, which makes it perfect for beginners. On the other hand, you have the investment path. This is the shortcut. You buy a page that's already monetized, which means you could start earning almost right away. This is really for experienced creators who are confident they can crank out viral hits from day one. And this really gets to a super important point. You can buy the tools, sure, but you can't buy the skill. A monetized page is completely worthless if you can't create content that people actually want to watch. As one creator put it so perfectly, experience just has no substitute. So, whether you choose the sweat route or the spend route, you're going to need the right toolkit. Let's break down the essential skills and the technical setup you absolutely have to succeed. Long-term success really rests on four main pillars. First up, content finding. You have to become a trend hunter, always on the lookout for what's about to go viral. But just finding a trend isn't enough. That leads to pillar two, content selection. You got to be honest with yourself. Can you actually make this content and make it well? Third is content creation. This is just pure practice, getting your reps in. You need to get good at making quality stuff and fast. And finally, management. Now, this is the boring but absolutely critical part, handling bank accounts, backup IDs, and all the payout stuff. If you get this wrong, all that creative work you did was for nothing. All right, here's a super important piece of insider knowledge, warming up an account. When you make a brand new Facebook ID, do not just jump in and start creating pages. For the first week, just use it to watch videos. That's it. Just watch. Let the account age naturally. I'm telling you, skipping this step is one of the top reasons new accounts get flagged and suspended. Now for some golden rules for your setup. Rule number 1, your main Facebook ID must match your real name on your national ID card. This is totally non-negotiable for getting paid. Rule 2, be patient. After you create that ID, wait the full week before you even think about creating a page. A healthy ID has to come first. Think of it as the mother to the page, which is the child. Rule 3, always have backups. Always. Have 2 or 3 other IDs set as admins on your page because, trust me, accounts get shut down without warning. And finally, rule 4, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Try to work on at least 5 pages at once. It's really a numbers game, and doing this dramatically increases your odds of one of them taking off. Okay, so we've covered a lot of the how-to, but now let's talk about something just as important, the mindset. Because, look, the technical skills will only get you so far. The long-term game is won or lost right up here, in your head. This number is pretty staggering, and it comes straight from the experience of people who've been doing this for years. 90%. That's the percentage of people who start this journey and ultimately fail in the long run. They either burn out, their pages get shut down, or they just give up. So what is it? What separates that successful 10% from everybody else?
It's not about being more talented, and it's definitely not about luck. It all comes down to a single, powerful decision they make at a really critical moment.
And here it is, the secret sauce. When that very first payout finally hits your bank account, what's your first move? The 90%? They go shopping. They celebrate their success, which is understandable. But the 10%? They reinvest. They buy another page, or better editing software, or faster computer. That simple habit of reinvesting is the engine that drives sustainable growth. And speaking of that first payout, let's talk about the final hurdle, actually getting the money from Facebook servers all the way into your bank account here in Pakistan. To avoid payment problems, rejections, all that headache, the most important rule is actually incredibly simple, yet so many people get it wrong. Let me say it clearly. Everything must match. I want you to think of it like a chain with 4 links. The name on your national ID card. That has to be identical to your Facebook ID profile name, which has to be identical to what you enter in your payout account setup, which, you guessed it, must be identical to the name on the actual bank account. If even one link in that chain is different, one typo, one initial, the whole payment gets rejected. They are that strict. And one last little practical detail to keep in mind, Facebook's minimum payout threshold for bank transfers is $100. So you won't see a single rupee until your confirmed earnings cross that $100 mark.
And that brings us to the end of this unofficial roadmap. So let's just leave you with this one final thought. After all the grinding, all the work, when that first $100 finally arrives, which path are you going to choose? Will you be in the 90% who celebrate for a day, or will you join the 10% who build for a decade? The choice, my friend, is yours.